And then I'll start with the first question. Well, hi, everyone. Thanks for making the call.
Hi.
Yeah, so for everyone tuning in, I had mentioned earlier, probably about a few weeks ago, that I was going to have a conversation with some very enthused youth and very in tune youth. They're each going to introduce themselves, and this is going to be a very casual conversation. It's not going to be workshop or panel or anything like that. It's just going to be a conversation. So for those of you who are used to seeing me as like a facilitator role, a presenter role, that's not going to be my role right now. I'm not here to educate or anything like that, even though, all of you we've had really challenging conversations at the dinner table or here and there, but that's not my role right now. My role is simply to hold space with a few questions. And I know there's a lot of sound going on, but that's how we do it. That's how we have conversations. Again, this is not a professional thing, so thank you for being with us. So if you guys can introduce yourselves, anything you want to share?
All right, well, my name's Isaiah Santos, aka Kool-Aid Jammer.
Yo, what's going on?
Shout out to these.
Alfonso. Currently watching the basketball game. Making time to talk about what's important. But yes, my name's Alfonso. My name's Alfonso, aka Busy Inspector.
Wow.
My name's Giselle.
Hi, Giselle.
How you doing?
How you doing?
Oh, good to see you all. So, as we talked about some questions, and thank you all for giving some input on these questions. And the first question, whoever wants to answer, and like I said, you don't have to answer each question, whatever you feel comfortable in sharing, right? So the first question is, how has the racial profiling and the police brutality that's been happening, not just now, but for a long time, been affecting you on either your mental health or your everyday life?
It's been really just hard. It's like sad to see all these people, die. All these African Americans die. It's like kind of sad because they don't deserve that. That's how I feel on that topic.
Yeah. It's just sad that, not even just, I guess, Africans Americans, I mean, all people of color have been fighting for so long, and it's been way too long, and we still haven't seen the justice.
Yeah, I would have to agree. It's kind of it's been a real steep battle. I know that it's been going on years, centuries, decades before I was born. And, it's affected me personally, but also has affected a lot of my minority friend group, which are primarily African Americans. And, coming from playing basketball, growing up just playing basketball, I've got to see different walks of life. And I've got to see how it not only affects me and the Latino community, but it also affects my people, my brothers and sisters of color as well.
All right, so how about some examples? Can you give an example of how racism or any other type of oppression has affected you, a friend, or a family member?
I mean, it could even be like little things, like even just going to the store and having workers just keep an eye on you, literally for the fact that you're brown.
Yeah, personally, for me, it affects me in a way where, I really have to watch what I'm doing when I'm not in my house, And I feel like that's something that a lot of people take for granted, being able to stay in your house and or going out and not have to worry about anything happening or any discrimination or any hate at all. But personally, it's kind of put a chip on my shoulder.
Let me see. Same thing as my brother was saying that like all of us just has to be careful what we're doing. Try not to do nothing crazy or anything. And just watch over us, watch over our backs, because there's a lot of crazy people out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's part of it. We talk about self-care, but then we forget about, even at the moment, the survival piece. And that because we're so used to surviving at an everyday acts of oppression, whether it's like a joke, or having to interrupt that or listen to that, or nobody stepping up, and you always having to be the one to step up, that kind of a thing. So it's a range of moments of survival around this, that we forget that we also have a right to thrive. It's being past that survival mode and thriving, and safety is a part of that, right? But then the more that we have our collective voice, the safer we are to speak up. That's what's happening right now in the media, that we're seeing a lot more people stepping up and disclosing because they saw that someone else shared, so they feel safe in sharing. And how about examples that you have, like maybe that you've witnessed with like law enforcement, how police have hurt Black communities of color?
I would personally have to say that in terms of how officers or just anybody in the police force in general, the effect that they've had on the Black communities has always been negative. When and a good example is I have a couple friends that live over there in Southeast Portland, kind of like the 185th and all over there. We got pulled over one time, and I think it was for speeding, but I know we were going under the speed limit, which is really odd. And my friend I could tell, he's a really calm demeanor guy, His mood is always zen and really calm. But he was scared for his life. Me and him both, but I could see the fear in his eyes. We got off with a warning, but just to see him so scared, like he did not, the future was uncertain. And I feel like as a police officer, when you have that effect over the youth in general, or just the whole community, it's obviously not going down the right road in the future. When somebody is, we at least me, and I know a lot of other people around the world, we rely on the police for safety, and it looks like there's a different narrative, especially in this year and this time right now.
Thank you. And anyone else want to give an example of what they've seen or witnessed?
I haven't really seen anything. Like,
go ahead.
Everything I've been seeing is like on social media. I haven't witnessed that to happen to a friend of mine or like someone on the street.
And just to add on to that, bro, that's a great point. A lot of the younger generation, are really gaining an insight of what's going on through social media. So through Instagram, Snapchat, Periscope, Facebook, that stuff, that platform is really giving a bird's eye view of what's happening all over the world. You know what I mean? To the Portland riots being there firsthand and seeing that, there are people from Baltimore, Maryland, from New Jersey, from Portland, Maine, that are understanding what's happening in Portland. So that gives the youth a pretty strong hold of what's going on.
Yeah, social media has been like a real eye-opener to a lot of people who don't know what's going on.
All right. So in terms of racial justice, what do you think needs to happen from your point of view?
This.
Uh,
Oh, okay, go ahead.
I feel like the system really needs to change. I feel like a lot of the ways they do things are very stereotypical, especially against race, people of color. I feel like we're treated unfairly, and we're not given like the same, I guess you could say, even like respect or the same chances as other people. And I feel like that needs to change.
What are some things that would change that?
Some things would be like,
I would probably say one of them would be some sort of education reform. Maybe producing textbooks that have more of a relevant tracking of history compared to the old textbooks that have dust on them and don't really correspond or make any sense of what's happening in today's day.
I feel like the training needs to change
The training for whom?
for like police officers, education.
What else? Think about community level. You shared some system level. How about community level, personal level?
You know, especially in the community level right now, with everything that's going on with COVID, it's really hard to bring the community together. But I've seen that, you know, there's a lot of protests and rallies trying to maintain social distance as much as possible. But, you know, that's kind of a step in the right direction when it comes to community and bringing us together.
All right. Anything else on that?
You call me?
Okay. So we said this was going to be short, just to give people a glimpse, right? This is not going to be like a thorough discussion, but just to get people to think about how youth are seeing things. What is one thing that you do to take care of yourself around all this?
I know one thing that I do is you know, I'm a big fan of like UFC and boxing and stuff like that. So trying to get like a punching bag and maybe work on my, you know, like fighting skills and stuff like that. You know, just work on. I did like my blood going, get a good workout in. Mainly just like working out and getting the stress that I gain from work or from everyday life, especially what's going on. Just finding an outlet to reduce that or get that off. You know.
What are the ways that you do to take care of yourself?
Like keep a routine, I guess.
What was that?
Like keeping a routine.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, maybe, you know, just having a routine every day. Just follow that.
All right, my last question here, if someone gave you the mic and you had a platform of people at the power table listening to you, you had their attention, what would your message be to them at that time? You have the mic. Come on now.
Mm,
Oh, that's tough.
That's yeah, that's dang, I don't know what to say. That's a lot of people right there.
Let's start a way to, but let's put laws and let's put laws in action to hold our police accountable. We need to be able to hold our police accountable, whether that's through the body cams that they have or through witnesses, but being able to hold the police accountable no matter the ranking in that police department or the status of that person. When somebody, police officer, firefighter, soldier, whenever they are going to trial for a crime, they need to be treated as a citizen, like everybody else.
Yeah, like what he's saying. Like what my brother was saying, just hold the police, accountable for their actions. Put the what the police did, like bad stuff, just put them in jail. Because at the end of the day, that's what they deserve.
Okay. And all right, Giselle, did you want to say anything? Last words?
no.
Okay, well, I thank you guys for tuning in because I know we tried this a few times and,
Yeah.
the whole technology piece because Zoom, capitalism wants to take your money if you're going to go live on, they don't even let you go live on Instagram. So thank you, Isaiah, for downloading this on your laptop there. And
Did I stop it? Did I pause it?
oh yeah, well, anyhow, thank you. I love you all. And we'll keep on chatting it up. I'll talk to you guys later.
All right, see ya.
Bye.
Bye.